So, a major recommendation, make sure you got travel insurance. Also, make sure you've got a GHIC card. Some healthcare will be covered with GHIC, but get health insurance as well, holiday insurance. I got a policy that also gives me access to Air Doctor, which will guide me towards the nearest doctor or dentist. It'll arrange appointments. And I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, but I found it really useful in the past. I got my policy through the post office. They're very reasonable. Yeah, so insurance. Holiday insurance and a GHIC card. Absolutely essential. Oh, it's foggy here on the walk I'm on today. So how fit do you have to be to do the Camino, the Portuguese Central Camino? Well, if I give you an idea of how much I can do, then if I can do it, you can do it. And I try to do one 10-mile walk every week, and I can do that fairly comfortably. So if you can do that, you'll be as fit as me, and if I can do it, you can do it. But if you can't do that much, it's not the end of the world. You just alter the stages, shorten the stages that you walk each day, and I'll come on to that later on. So what to take? It's always a dilemma, isn't it? And here I've got a packing list here. Don't worry if you can't read it all, because I'll put a link in the description. Now, the thing you have to avoid is taking stuff just in case. Just in case. You're going through towns and cities and whatever. If there's something you've forgotten, you can normally buy it. You don't need to take everything with you. As I say, if you look at the top there, I use a 28 to 30 litre rucksack. Now, obviously, you have to personalise this a little bit, but this will give you the basics of what you need. And this is the basics. I wouldn't take much less than this, and I'd probably change this to take a few more pairs of pants and socks if there's room. There we go. Right, so I just thought I'd talk a little bit about the apps that I use. You can see I've got several on this phone here, but the one I use most of all is Buen Camino, so I'm just going to open that one up. And the reason I like to use this one, apart from the fact that it's mostly free, is you can see this one here, plan your daily stages. So this is one that I'm using for the Portuguese Camino, and you can see you can plan these stages, how far you want to go. You can see the miles down here, but even better than that, if I click on this one, Villarino, it takes you through to Villarino, and you can see that there are a couple there, and you can book on booking.com. So it's actually integrated with booking.com, and you can plan your stages and then book through on booking.com. So very useful indeed. As I say, it's got all, you can download extra maps and so on. The actual basic app is free. I have others, I've tried the others, but I do find this one is about the best, so that's Buen Camino. And it's so important to notice, as I say, plan your daily stages. So you don't have to be walking loads of miles. If we go to this one here, we can edit this and change, say, oh, we don't want to go that far, we only want to go to Bilbao, whatever. So if you're, your mobility is compromised or whatever, or you just want to have a shorter stage, you can do it all within the app. So I hope that's useful to you. There are other apps, most of them are free, do try them out, but as I say, this is the one that I use most of all. One of the hottest topics on all the forums that discuss all things Camino of what to wear on your feet. Well, I've worn all sorts of things. My current favourites are these here, which are trail running shoes. They're not waterproof. These are the Las Parable. These are Lone Peak Ultras, very light. People will tell you different things. If you've got a well-worn pair of walking boots, you can try wearing those, but the problem is that your feet get very hot and sweaty, and you're more likely to get blisters, whereas with something lightweight with lots of ventilation, that's a lot less likely to happen. But it's down to personal choice. But for goodness sake, whatever you wear, make sure you've worn them in well. So there you are, you take the plunge and you're out there walking on the Camino, and then you suddenly realise you train, but walking the Camino is slightly more difficult with a full backpack. But it doesn't have to be. Another way to make things easier is to use one of the many services that will carry your backpack forward for you. I use one called TUI Trans on the Portuguese Central, and it works I've used it once, worked very well. They pick it up from where you're stopping and it's already where you are when you arrive. So just something else to make things a little bit easier. Most of the advice in this, well, all of it really relates mostly to the Portuguese Camino, the Central Camino, although also it would apply equally to the coastal Camino in Portugal from Porto. But there are other options, of course. If you want to go further, there's the French Camino, which is about 6 weeks, too much for me personally. But if 2 weeks is long for you, there's always the Camino Inglés, which is 6 days from Ferrol in Galicia down to Santiago. And I'll be doing that, and you can follow my progress because I'm going to be videoing it, if that's of interest to you. Have you got some more questions? Well, put them in the comments underneath the videos and I'll get back to you. But I'll also put a link in the description to what the main Camino Forum, and if I don't know the answer, somebody, whatever it is, somebody there will. So that's about it. I hope you join me on the Camino Inglés and get out there on the Camino as soon as you can. Bye now.